Hey, welcome back to Jameson's Repair Shop. Got some more video here, and it's more about repairs around the inner wheelhouse extension area, and how I cleaned up the back and planning that next move in this back panel. And I found some issues there, so I just went ahead and I continued to work on reinstalling the inner wheelhouse extension. So I've done that in this video, so let's go have a look and see what's happening there. Alright, now that we have that piece rebuilt that I in the last video, I'm going to start cleaning up this area and we'll start getting this fixed up. So not a lot of work here to do, a lot of clean up. I went picking through here. It seems very solid up here. I'll check the other side. I'm just debating whether to pull this exhaust bracket brace off. I don't really want to because it's in really good shape, but it is kind of in the way, and it's just a few spot welds, so maybe I will just yank it off and then I can fix this quite easily. I have to clean up both sides, but it looks good up. It's just where the bottom come off of it. The rest looked pretty good, but I won't know until I get the seam sealer and all off. This has to be all cleaned up anyway, so probably just best to pull this off. And while I'm in there, this bracket definitely has to come off. Alright, got lots of work to do. Alright, I got my little body saw tool out again with a scraper blade on it, or window blade I guess it is. But I just wanted to, for my own reference, all this seam sealer that's up in here. I just want to capture it on video so I don't forget how much was there and where to put it. I have the diagram book and it tells you all that stuff. Sometimes it's good to have a visual of it. So I don't you can see it there or not, but there was seam sealer in there. And again, I just showed you all along. Every place that has a seam. And I did notice when I got back here that this panel does have a little bit of rust right at that seam, so I'm going to have to get that cleaned out. I'm not taking this panel right off, even though there's a couple spots that need to be fixed. I don't want to lose the strength while I'm doing the repairs, but I'm still thinking to take this off. Alright, better get back at her. Alright, I started stripping the rear valance. The valance is in good shape rust-wise, but it's had a couple of boo-boos by the looks of it. Because they, way back in the early days, they put a lot of filler in. Look how much is there. My finger almost fits in that groove. So I'm just wire wheeling it off. It seems to thin out as it goes over to here. And I don't know about the other side, but I want to strip at least this. Well, I wanted to strip this area for sure because I need it to know where it all sits. It looks like it got hit maybe right here, and it's got a little bend in it right there. But there's no rust on this valance. But anybody that's not sure about how well Bondo will stick, I'm pretty sure when this car was done, and this car sat for 30 years, almost 30 years before I got it. It wasn't registered, it was sitting in a shed somewhere. And that Bondo is like metal, like steel. It is hard to get off. It was well, whoever did it, they etched it in, they gave it lots of tooth, lots of bite. But wow, so I'm pretty sure that won't be high-end Bondo, that'll be just Bondo, the regular old Bondo. So if anybody complains about Bondo falling off, well, they probably didn't do their prep work right, because I can tell you right now, whoever did this, she's on, you can't even tell, like it's just like a part of the steel, it just blends right in there. So Bondo isn't a bad thing. That thick of Bondo, yeah, it's a little heavy, I think anyway. But it depends on what you need. That's again, it's about what is it you're doing to the car, why do you have the car or the vehicle, truck, can be anything. If you only need to get through a couple more years with it, go at her, doesn't matter. But I want this to be as little Bondo in as I can get, or body filler, so this is why I'm taking it all out. Well, there now, I got that bracket off. There's a lot of work in this area. This will all have to be replaced up here, and likely probably pull this panel right out and rebuild the whole thing, or make a new one. It's pretty thin, and then I can get at what's underneath the lip. So this is going to take, this area here is going to take a lot of time. Probably be at this for a bit. Alright, we'll get at her then. Alright, what I've decided to do here, because I'm starting to open up a lot of unsupported ground, that's an old mining talk, but anyway, I'm going to use it here. There's a lot of structure here that needs to be supported before I take this all out. So what I'm going to do, I want to start rebuilding all this first. So I'm going to start concentrating up here, and then I want to get this piece in back here, like the inner wheelhouse extension and the outer wheelhouse extension. That means doing this flange down here. It can be redone when I have the panel off. So I just worry about taking all this out because there's a lot of structure that's just hanging here now, and I don't want to lose the shape of it. So I want to get that, and then I can put some supports up from there and from the ground to support all this, because this is getting into pretty dicey stuff here. So that's the plan. So I'm going to move ahead and do the others, and then just going to leave this for now. But it's good to know that it's here, because I can't imagine putting it back together with all that rot. Like those are thin holes. Those are holes, but behind them they're very thin. So we need to replace it. More work, more videos. Woohoo! All right, since I moved forward to start working on this, if I can get in here, I gotta get around these braces. I decided to go after this joint right here. This is, again, this is solid metal, all this, even though it's got a couple of little pits in it, but it's solid. Needs a little bit of flanging. I said that a dozen times already. But this joint right here, these two flanges need to be replaced. And then that'll keep this solid. So I'm going to do this first, and then I'm going to move up to here. Alright, getting the flange put on this. This is just a piece of scrap that I had laying around, 18 gauge. There was a little bit of weak spot right there, so I'm going to just fill it. I'm not going to cut it all out. I'm just going to fill it, and what I'm using are these curlies from the metal shears. So I just took a piece, and I'm just going to weld it in like that. It's solid metal all around there now, so it should be good. Anyway, I just pointing that out. Even the curlies have value, so don't throw everything out. Always value in the scrap pieces. There we go, one flange in place. That took about 20 minutes. So that's good. I'm going to continue on. I'm going to replace this piece, and then and I did notice there's a hole in this right here. I missed that. I'm trying to look through the arms of this outer support when I'm doing this. I can't get my head in there, so some of the stuff I'm missing. So now I'm going over it closely. So let's get this piece done, and then the piece below it. So I'll cut this off, and then I'll fix the bottom of this. The lip of that, sorry. There we go, I got her cut out. Got a piece made for the lower part. Got it primed on the back. I primed this. I vacuumed out the best I could. There's still a little bit of debris in there. I don't think I'm going to get it all. But I think Nick was asking about the frame rails on this car. And they are in really nice shape. Otherwise I wouldn't be doing this. That would just be way beyond my skill set. And like I said to Nick, when I first got this car, I put it up on the hoist and I went right over the frame really well. Other than where they pushed it up with the forks over the up front there. She's pretty good, solid. So, I'm going to get this piece welded in. And then I have another piece right here. Oh, get her. Sorry guys, going for a ride. And then I have this piece here that goes over top of that that's formed. Like so. Alright, it'll look different when it's welded in. She's just loose there now. But that's what I'm doing. Let's get her done. Here she is. Got the first piece welded in. And I got the other one over on the bench drying. I put some etch primer on it. I'm just using the etch primer in there because it's quick and convenient with a spray can. And it works well on bare metal. The whole thing eventually will be red oxide, but for now, for these parts, it's etch prime because it's easy. Small parts like that. Alright, I'll get the other one as soon as it dries. I'll get her on. And we'll continue on. Get a little bit of flange work, like I said, there to do, and then we'll move up into here. Alright, there she is. She's welded in. Spot welded in, a little bit of grinding. She's all been primed underneath. Gonna be pretty good. That stiffened that up a lot. Good. She's coming together. Got that all fixed up. Hardly looks any different, except there's no rust in it anymore. She's all sealed up. And there'll be, again, seam sealer on it all. So I'm going to keep moving up the line. There we go. Alright. I've got this filled in up here. I rebuilt this wheelhouse. I'm going to need to just put a little extension around here. There's a little bit of, sorry, I can't get in there. There's a little bit of rust in this little spot right here on the underneath, so I'm going to get that from the underneath. And then I'll extend a little, I'll put a little piece in there. This has to fit a little better, it just needs to be wrapped. So when I extend this up, I'll give myself some material that can wrap around. I think this just needs to be bent back a little bit more so it sits down a little better. And that looks pretty good there. I didn't prime anything yet. Excuse me, I just thought I would do a little more work to this actually before I primed it, but feels pretty good. It looks terrible. That's mostly just the lighting and the grind marks. So yeah, I got the flanges all on and stuff. This. So out here now, I'm having some issue. I did fix this, but I didn't take it up far enough. So I'm gonna have to just roll that back a little further. That's not a big deal. That's easy work. But she's coming. Yeah. And I got the hole put in, and I'm going to have to do a little indent there. And I still haven't finished welding this as well, so that has to be done before I prime it. So on the back here, it's getting pretty good. It's getting to be pretty good on the back for this Valance. I think I'm quite sure these were equal according to the pictures George put up. And I'll put those pictures up in this video. So really this needs to be cut and then flanged right here so it mates to this. And then of course the quarter panel goes between this and this. So it's coming. Alright, I've been tweaking it a little bit. Trying to get this all to line. So I did split it there. I didn't touch this because I felt good. I don't know why I was looking at it the other way. But anyway, you stop, think about stuff. You get another perspective, so you step back for a bit and take a look. So this is what happened. So I split it there, I took the flange back off there. I got this up, coming up nice. This needs to go down, but it's not seating on the wheelhouse yet. So this will have to be rolled in some kind of a arch to it. So that'll come down a little bit. This flange is too tall anyway, so it's way too tall. So it needs to be cut down. It may not need much, so I'm going to leave it until I get it seated down in where it needs to be. it's running along here pretty decent. The back end is pretty good here too, so yeah. So looks pretty good. It's a lot of you know, fixing, a lot of tweaking. It's all part of the job. But she'll be strong anyway. That's one thing. That's what I'm after. So since I've been doing a little tweaking, I decided to go after this a little bit. So I took this in a little bit here. Still needs a little bit more on this. But I've been just using a ball hitch at my hammer. Using the ball hitch as a dolly. So I've been getting this kind of this nice rounding, smoothing it out some. Just plenishing it up with the hammer. So that's pretty straightforward stuff. It's still back to basic tools. She's starting to fit really good up there again. So that's nice. So yeah, she's coming. And I'll show you what I was doing. I'll just come over here and show you what I mean by trailer ball hitch. And that's it. So I just lay the panel over it and use the old hammer. And then if I need to do any other, like longer plenishing or anything like that, I just do it over this. Any place I can use this. So yeah, I just wanted to add that I'm not just working on the inside, I'm working on the outer wheelhouse as well. Wheelhouse extension. So she's coming along pretty nice. A couple more things to put on and probably be it for this video. Alright, getting ready to put the inner wheelhouse extension along. I've got this piece made. I got a primer on it. I've got the flange on. I got that flange all fixed. That one's all fixed. It's all primed. So I'm going to put this, I have it right here. I'm going to put it up in place. It's all one coat of red oxide on it. I'm going to put it up in place and plug weld it in. Oh, there she is. Now I don't have the outer one welded on yet, but I did do the inner wheelhouse extension. I welded it on. So go ahead and have a look. And pretty darn good. It's all formed up in there. Need some primer on this up there, but this whole area is going to have to be rust treated and primed. So I did prime underneath this lip, and then I welded it like it did, like the weld there's a little piece in here I have to fix yet, so I didn't weld it all the way up. But this is where that old weld was, so I just, threw some weld on it, make it look the same. I trimmed up, I cleaned up the rear valance flange. It's in really good shape. So I'm just kind of comparing how, I have it pushed back right now to clear this. So I'm just trying to, kind of get a feel for the shape and everything. So it looks pretty decent. So it'll have to be adjusted, and I'll throw up I got a couple pictures that George gave me. I'll throw them up right now on here of what one of these look like from the reproduction and the factory. Of course, you already know what was left of it, but George had a picture of both of them together, and the reproductions they need work too. So you work on this one or you work on the reproduction. It's up to yourself, I guess. But anyway, that's it for this video. I really appreciate everyone coming along for the ride. It's been fun, actually, and nice to see this old car. It's coming together. She's getting stronger with every piece I build and put on it, because this was basically going to be just recycled car when I got it. That was the intent for it. Oh yeah, right here I should go into this. This needs to be, see how it's opened up? This needs to be stepped in here, rolled over in, and then brought out so this is flush. That's what's going on there. So it'll look like this, but up to about here, and then it'll join together. Sorry for the sideline there. But anyway, again, thanks a lot for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed and you're watching this for the first time, hey, hit the subscribe button. I could really use the subscribers. I've been doing really well. And hey, I'm not forgetting about the ones that are subscribed. I really appreciate you being here all the time. Lots of good comments. Really enjoy it. All right, thanks a lot, guys and girls, and we'll see you in the next one.